During uncertain times, sports have always been there to comfort us and to bring us together. But with the COVID crisis, sports aren't even being played right now. So, where do we find that same comfort that sports gives us? We can find it in sports cards. And people have been finding that comfort and even some nostalgia in sports cards recently. The sports card market's been on absolute fire, and it seems like just about everything's moving. But there is a pattern to what's moving, and what's moving are the rookie cards of legendary players. Legendary players like the legendary wide receiver Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice, of course, has scored more touchdowns than any football player in history. He played for two legendary quarterbacks in Joe Montana and Steve Young. This guy just has records that it's very unlikely we'll ever see broken. Julio Jones of the Falcons has been trying to make a run at those records, but who knows if he'll even ever make it. So it makes a lot of sense that Jerry Rice rookie cards would be popular. But what's interesting about Jerry Rice's rookie card is there's hardly any PSA 10s. So the 86 top set was a very difficult one to grade. And of course, Jerry Rice being the key card from that set, there are over 20,000 of them graded by PSA. But as you can see, there are only 56 graded Gem Mint 10 and only 1,010 graded PSA 9 Mint. So for the most part, if you're looking to get your hands on a Jerry Rice that's graded, you're pretty much going to have to settle for a PSA 8, which is 11. There's 11,511 of as of this recording. So what's interesting about this is that typically when you're looking to collect rookie cards, you really are trying to get at least a 9, if not a 10. But 10s are just so rare, they just don't come up very often. And just over the weekend, early May 2020, a PSA 9 sold for $1,500 on eBay. So, as you can understand, that might not be in your budget for most people. So, if you want a Jerry Rice rookie card, you could always try to find one that's raw or whatnot. But the only problem with that is that because there are so many centering issues with this set, with so many other printing issues with this set, if you really, really want a good-looking card, a good-looking example of this card, you are going to want to turn to PSA graded copies. And so ThePit actually has quite a few of these in stock. We've sold a few recently. There's 3 for sale right now at $105, but ThePit also does have 30 holdings of this card. That means cards that are not currently listed for sale at ThePit, but that are available for trading. And as you can see, the highest bid for this card right now is $90. So if you wanted to put in a bid for this card, you can do that at ThePit. Something you can't really do anywhere else. But the reason we're talking about Jerry Rice, this particular card, is that just the absolute staggering just rise in his prices. So as you can see, over the weekend, this card was selling between anywhere between $112 to $128 on eBay. And many of them actually from the same seller, as you can see here. There's just been an absolute run on his rookie cards. And it's pretty unbelievable that, even just go back a little bit here. Even a couple of weeks ago, you could get this card for around $80, even $73. And then, consistently could get this card for about $75. So, what's been happening is that people have been sitting on a lot of these copies for a long time, but now the demand is such that it's really starting to push this card up. I mean, as you can see, as we go back, even back to early April, this card was around between 60 and 65. And there was one sale here for 24. That's a bit of an outlier there, but just as we go back into March, just not even 2 months ago, you can see this card was consistently around 55 to 60, and some you could even find for under $50. So even just in the last couple of months, this card has more than doubled in price. Which is pretty staggering. So if you bought this card, even just in February, and this card was under $50. So this card has easily doubled in price. Now, a card that has such a high population, I mean, that's a lot of cards. But when you really think about it, how many people are out there in the market for a Jerry Rice card? There's probably a lot of them. There probably are more than 11,000 people out there that would be interested in having a Jerry Rice PSA 8 rookie card. near mint to mint is what the PSA grade is. So what's interesting about that is that even though it's such a high population, this has been pretty true across the board. Cards that ordinarily would not be this expensive. This was a $50 card for quite a while, and the fact that it's jumped up over $100, and really the pin has a good deal on these right now. Um, but what's especially happening is you're seeing people that have had these in quantity for years, being able to finally sell all of those copies at a substantial profit, which is very interesting. So one of the great things about the pit, so this is kind of one of the good things about the pit, is that with the pit, what you can do is you can buy let's just say that if you have a Jerry Rice, and if you want to buy a bunch of Jerry Rice rookies, what you can do is you can buy 10, 15, 20 copies of this card on the pit, and you can you could put in a bid, or you could buy whatever is available. And if there's none currently available, but there's holdings, you can put in a bid and see if someone is willing to sell those copies to you. So, and during times like this where cards have literally doubled over the space of a couple of months, the last 60 days, there's a strong chance that you might be able to get a good deal, especially if you can buy in quantity. Whereas on eBay, typically you're selling one copy at a time. I mean, of course, you can sell multiple copies at a time on eBay as well, but the difference here is that there's no shipping involved, there's no sales tax, there's no transaction fees. So you would only pay sales tax if you're in the case of the pit, only if you're in California. So that is one if you wanted them shipped to you. But during uncertain times, of course, the post office has been pretty jammed. I mean, there's just so much stuff going back and forth right now with everyone staying home. Everybody's buying online. And so the post office has been very slow. There have been packages going missing or taking a very, very long time. There's actually been reports of people's packages being ripped open, and if somebody rips open, if a package gets damaged just from for whatever reason, and somebody sees some Jerry Rice cards in there, most people know who Jerry Rice is, and they might go missing. So there's always that. So there's just so much money in these cards right now. But the beauty of the pit is that if you buy this card today and the card goes up to $150 tomorrow, you can instantly list them for sale, and the only fee that you would be paying is if you decide to cash out. There's a 10% cash out fee, but beyond that, there's no other fees at the pit. There's no holding fees. There's no holding fees. There's no transaction fees at the pit. There's none of that. So if you're looking to get into some of these rookie cards that are selling just in great volume right now, the pit is a great place to look for those, especially those that we have in quantity. So I mean, of course, if you just want to own one, of course you can buy one at the pit at a reduced cost too. But that's part of the reason why the prices are lower on the pit, is that we don't have to worry about eBay fees and whatnot. So that's part of the reason why you can get cards up to 15-20% cheaper, sometimes even more. The market's just moving so quickly right now. So yeah, so I mean, most of the time, most people wouldn't be interested in a PSA 8, but I mean, as you can see, if you look at the auction prices realized page that we've been looking at here, you can see that this card is selling very, very often, very, very quickly, and the prices are very, very quickly moving up on this card. Where is this card going to eventually land? I think, I mean, if you look at the trend here, I mean, there even was one on PWCC that did sell for 157, but as we know, those auctions do tend to get pretty intense, and that's another upside of the pit. That say you have a card and you put it on eBay, most people are going to tell you to put it up for auction and see what that card will bring, and those auctions are typically what set the market. When you have a big auction house, of course, those cards are going to be, those auctions are going to be distributed to their followers and other members of their mailing list, and sometimes you'll see those cards go up a little bit higher than they might ordinarily go. But on the pit, you don't have to worry about that. You can just simply set your price, and if you're trying to buy a card, it's very frustrating to be trying to buy a card, put in a bid, and get outbid to what they call sniping. That doesn't happen on the pit. You can set your price, and if someone likes the price you're willing to buy it at, or that you're willing to sell it at, you can have an instant deal. So yeah, if you're into any of these kind of cards, any of these sort of rookie cards that are selling in great quantity, this is definitely the place to do it, especially if you're just trying to get your hands on one copy. And the great thing is you can hold that copy at the pit as long as you want, and you can take delivery at any time. Of course, right now, as I said, we would recommend that you keep them at the pit until things get a little bit more back to normal. And we're hopefully coming to the end of this lockdown. It does appear that way. So when lockdown is over, but if you're looking to trade multiple copies, say you want to buy 10 or 15 of these, it just makes a lot more sense to keep them at the pit and not have to take possession of them if all you're looking to do is hold them for a long-term flip. So yeah, so Jerry Rice, definitely a card. This is definitely a card that we see just moving all the time. And so if you're interested in getting into this card, we definitely recommend the pit is the best place to trade this and other cards like it that are trading very rapidly on eBay. So what do you guys think of this card? Do you think this card is going to end up eclipsing $150? How far do you think that such a high population card can go? And we would love to hear your thoughts on this. And we'll be back soon with more market mover reports from thepit.com. Happy collecting, everyone.